One of my favorite video games for the DS is 9 Hours, 9 Persons, 9 Doors. It's a mystery visual novel written by Kotaro Uchikoshi and the first game in the Zero Escape trilogy. All three of the Zero Escape games have the same basic premise. A mysterious masked figure named Zero kidnaps 9 people, locks them in a strange location, and forces them to go through escape rooms and play torture games to escape. I like all 3 of the Zero Escape games, and to be honest, the second one is probably my favorite. But there's just something about the first game that feels special. It has a sense of atmosphere that the other 2 games can't match. The setting, a sinking replica of the Titanic, is exquisite. To be honest, I'd recommend stopping this video, getting your hands on a copy of 999, and playing it. Preferably the original DS version. The Nonary game's re-release has voice acting and fixes one of the game's biggest frustrations, but it also fucks up a really important part of the game in a way that I can't talk about without spoiling the entire game. If you haven't played through 999, fair warning, this video will contain light spoilers. I'll be as vague as possible about the game's twists, but still, this is a video about a line of dialogue in one of the game's bad endings. One of my favorite pieces of dialogue in any video game. A simple line that changes 999. Let's talk about Zero. The original Zero, to be specific. Each game features a different Zero, something the games make very clear early on, and while I do love the constantly monologuing Plague Doctor version of Zero from Zero Time Dilemma, the quiet, mysterious original Zero from 999 manages to be just as effective with less than 5 minutes of total screen time. The player's first introduction to Zero comes when Junpei is kidnapped at the start of the game.
Consider this a privilege. You have been chosen. You are going to participate in a game. The Nonary game. It is a game where you will put your life on the line.
This gas-masked intruder, with blank red eyes that stare into your soul, talking in a deep, distorted voice, is an excellent design for a villain. Dangerous, menacing, and mysterious. The obvious first question any player will have is who is Zero? Which of the 9 persons is the face behind the mask? I'm not going to be revealing that question in this video. Instead, I'm going to be talking about how Zero functions as a character before even getting unmasked. Zero next talks to the group over the PA system, explaining the rules of the Nonary game. They also note that some of the group are already familiar with it, and wow, isn't that interesting? Zero says the purpose of the game is simple. Leave the ship alive, and tells the player to seek a way out. Zero ends the scene by saying, "I wish you all the best of luck." This is the last thing Zero says for a very long time. 999 has 5 different endings, and these endings range in quality from one of the best endings in any video game to I just wasted 10 hours to die randomly. The true ending falls into the former camp, while the bad endings mostly fall into the latter. The knife ending is pretty much worthless, and the axe and sub endings aren't much better. But the safe ending, even though it's a bad ending, is actually kinda good. The game locks you out of getting the true ending without the safe ending because it's vital for understanding the game's plot. A thing these endings have in common is people dying. In most of the bad endings, these deaths are quick, off-screen, pieces of shock value that mostly just exist to foreshadow who the killer is in the true ending. But the safe ending doesn't end when a body is found. It continues, and as a result, we finally get answers to some of the game's questions. In a note hidden in a safe, written by Zero, it is revealed that all of this has happened before. That there was another Nonary game, 9 years ago, and that people died. It's revealed that several of the game's characters are connected to that game. Zero's note ends with the following. "I must punish them for the innocent lives they sacrificed. This is the only warning they will receive. That innocent souls might be saved, I now state the truth." And then, the player's view of Zero shifts. No longer is Zero some Jigsaw-esque torturer. They're motivated by revenge. It's heavily implied that Zero is a victim of the first set of kidnappings. That they're trying to hurt the monsters who hurt them first. They're still evil. They dragged innocent people like Junpei into their schemes and endangered them seemingly for no reason, but they're a tragic evil. The safe ending continues, with more people dying horribly. The person Zero wants revenge on dies in a bit of poetic justice, but so do 3 innocent bystanders, 3 characters the player had grown to care for. The safe ending culminates in the very sad death of a certain character, of a good person caught up in Zero's machinations. Then, a voice rings out.
Zero. You son of a bitch! Where are you hiding?
This game has ended.
No. No, it hasn't. I'm not gonna let it end yet. I'm gonna get out of here.
You can't. That is impossible.
Why?
Because you chose the wrong path.
The wrong path?
That is correct.
Zero continues being cryptic, saying that the loser has been decided.
Your path is inevitable, however. Admit defeat. Where there is shadow, there is light. Where there is the absence of light, there is no shadow. So it goes.
What are you talking about?
That is not. The loser has been decided.
And then comes a line that changes everything.
I told you! I am not gonna lose!
No, you misunderstand. You have lost. I have lost.
And just like that, Zero changes again. To someone mournful, someone who didn't want this to happen. To someone who wants more than revenge. But of course, that was already clear. Zero said, the purpose of the game is simple. Leave this ship alive. Zero changes as a character more once they are unmasked in the true ending, becoming a complex character unlike anything I've seen before or since. And that's why, as frustrating as it is, you need the safe ending first, to get that moment of sorrow, that remorse from a remorseless killer, that simple line that changes 9 persons, 9 hours, 9 doors.